What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's discuss NXT from January the 14th, 2025. A pretty okay show for the most part. Now, it was kind of funny that NXT got kicked off the air directly at 10 o'clock on the dot. 10 o'clock, it was gone. So that was pretty funny. So it is what it is, but I saw what happened. I ended up watching it on WWE's YouTube channel. So that's how I caught the rest of it. And, not too much happened when it came to that. But Bayley, she is everywhere, essentially. She's everywhere, which is kind of cool. We'll talk about that when we get to it. So we kicked the show off with Oba Femi. So Oba Femi, he gets on the mic and he puts himself over. He says that he's always been backed by Destiny. He said it's not just a catchphrase or a gimmick. He's been backed by Destiny the entire time, ever since he won the breakout tournament, when he became the North American champion, and when he became the longest reigning North American champion. And he's also been backed by Destiny when he became NXT champion. He says all of this is his now. It belongs to the ruler. He's going to rule how he sees fit. Then he puts over Trick Williams. He says that Trick Williams did well as champion. He said, but there's a ceiling to Trick, and Oba has no ceiling at all. And then he calls Eddie Thorpe a real piece of work. He calls him a rat, a deceiver, and he's a cockroach that won't die. He's like the gum on your shoe, and it won't go away. That's exactly what Eddie is. But he told him this is his final warning, and go annoy someone else in the locker room. So Tony D comes out. He gets on the mic, and he says that he's beaten Oba Femi in the past. He's the only one that's beaten him so far. And he mentioned that he would like to be the 2-title Don, which I do like. That's great. And so Oba says that he knows that Tony's now found his confidence. He told him to leave him be and focus on the North American Championship. And he mentions Ridge Holland, saying that he's going to take care of him. So Ridge Holland shows up, and then him and Tony get into a brawl, and Oba Femi is going to attack from behind by Eddie Thorpe with a leather strap. Eddie punches Oba in the back of the head, and he poses with the NXT title. So this is a pretty decent way to start the show. Oba being champion makes perfect sense. It's great. They did all this because they're trying to push new stars in Eddie Thorpe and Oba Femi. So this does make perfect sense. So I like where this is all going. And, you have to build new stars from time to time. And so they're focusing on Eddie Thorpe and Oba Femi. So good shit there. Moving on. So Ethan Page, he's in the men's locker room. He's bragging about his segment with The Rock. Ethan Page says that he can smell the jealousy from the locker room. Dante Chen, who's been there for forever, for like 4 years. He's been there since, I want to say, either 2021 or 2022. I want to say he's been there since 2021. And he may have been signed with NXT since maybe 2019 or 2020. Let's just go with that. So Dante Chen, he tells Ethan Page that nobody wants him in the locker room after what he did to Jevon Evans and Cedric Alexander. Dante Chen shoves Ethan Page after he jokes about breaking Jevon Evans' jaw. And then he's going to go to Ava's office to make the match official. Okay, that's fine. But we got to do something with Dante Chen. he's not over. All right. And there is no more NXT level up. They are looking to bring NXT Evolved. That's going to happen sometime this year. Can't remember when that is, but maybe you can put him on there. But we'll have to wait and see. Moving on. First match of the night. Stephanie Vacker versus Shotzi. So Shotzi is the number one contender for the NXT Women's North American Championship with the help of one JC Jane. So JC Jane came out. She got involved. She took out Gigi. And this allowed for Shotzi to roll up with Stephanie Vacker. So that makes perfect sense. This to me is okay. I get you don't want to, automatically push Stephanie right then and there. So maybe they're pulling her back for just a small bit. But we'll have to wait and see how that shit plays out. But I am fine with this because it does make perfect sense. And we all know that Shotzi's not going to win and beat Fallon Henley. It's just not going to happen. So I think their match is next week. I'm not sure. Moving on. So Ruka, she tells Kalani Jordan that things are going to turn around. So Zarya, a.k.a. Delta, says that Kalani should use her recent losses as motivation. More like motivation in the back of the line, according to Cora Jade. Cora Jade has no doubt that she's going to win a title before Kalani wins another one. Cora Jade said she can have all the attitude in the world, that being Kalani Jordan, because she's going to still be the same little girl from Michigan State. And then Kalani Jordan then smacks the shit out of Cora Jade. That was funny, too. That was funny. I like how they're trying to turn Kalani heel. I don't think she's going to turn full-fledged heel. I think what they might do with her is put her in that tweener role. I think that'll make perfect sense for her to be in. Really, good stuff there. Kalani Jordan, she's got the in-ring aspect down. And she's okay on the mic. She needs to learn how to cut better promos and whatnot. But other than that, outside of, her personality and her promo ability, she's solid in ring. So I do like where this feud is going. Moving on. So Stephanie Vacker, she's pissed off. She attacked JC Jane in the trainer's room. So this all happened during picture-in-picture during the commercial break. All right, that's fine. There was no audio for this shit, by the way, but I wish there would have been. She probably was speaking in angry Spanish, that being Stephanie Vacker. Good stuff there. Moving on. So Oba Femi, he storms into Ava's office. Oba wants to give Eddie Thorpe an NXT title shot. So Ava's not going to reward Eddie's bad behavior. So Mr. Stone says that Eddie's playing Oba like a fiddle. So Oba then lifts Mr. Stone against the wall. He acts like he's going to hurt him pretty bad. Ava tells Oba to put Mr. Stone down. And then Ava then gives Oba what he wants. And that's his match against Trick. That's his match against Eddie Thorpe next week for the NXT Championship. Okay. This is fine for the most part. But we all know Eddie Thorpe is not going to win. So what's the end goal with Eddie Thorpe turning heel? What's his end goal? Because I know that they're going to build Oba up to go against Trick Williams one-on-one at Stand and Deliver. So that's still going to be on the back burner. But what's Oba going to do after he beats Eddie Thorpe? Where's that stuff going to go? Where are we going to go with the story? I don't fucking know. Moving on. So Ethan Page, he defeats Dante Chen via the cutter. So this is the second week in a row he's been using the cutter as his finishing move. I do like that, so that's good. It's always good when a wrestler turns heel and he or she changes, their finishing move. I've always liked that shit. That's always been pretty cool to me. So post-match, Ethan Page beats the shit out of Dante Chen. He takes off Chen's right wrestling boot, and he slams it against the steel steps a few times. And then Ethan Page viciously kicks the ring steps. So Dante Chen is out. Jevon Evans makes his return to a decent reaction, which is great. And then they had a quick little brawl, that being Ethan Page and Ethan Page and Jevon Evans. And then Jevon Evans goes down via a right hand to his jaw that's still wired shut. So he sold that very well. And then Ethan Page wants Jevon Evans to give him a smile. So I like this. I like the aggressiveness and the aggressiveness and the seriousness of Ethan Page. That how his character work has, changed, where he's gone into a more psychotic, sadistic type of heel, which I like, instead of being the cowardly chicken shit heel that he has been, like how the Miz used to be and stuff like that. So this shit is fine. We'll have to see where this goes. Moving on. So Shawn Spears, his sorry ass is on this show. He's trying to recruit Adriana Rizzo away from the family. Izzy Dame tells Shawn Spears that she doesn't need him, and then Shawn Spears highly doubts that. No, Shawn Spears, you worthless sack of shit. I actually do agree with Izzy Dame. We don't need you on this show. Period. Moving on. So, Ashanti the Adonis, he didn't want to play games anymore with Carmen Petrovich. And he wants to start off the year right with her. And so Carmen gives in, and she gives him a big kiss. And that was great. So this is great. I'm loving this. Really good fucking shit here. Excellent. Love this. Love it, love it, love it. Love it. Moving on. So we get a Julia vignette. She didn't say much of anything. She just spoke about how she's going to be a fighting champion and how she's happy that she was able to be the one to dethrone Roxanne Perez. So that was pretty good there. Moving on. So Sarah Schreiber, she had a backstage interview with DIY. They said that they're there to watch Fraxium after hearing that they're supposedly the greatest tag team in the history of NXT. Johnny Gargano says that one day the world will rejoice watching DIY battle Fraxium. Tommaso Ciampa promises they're not here to cause any problems. Alright, but who gives a shit about this? Like, why the fuck are they here? Seriously, this is some lame nonsense. Go stay on SmackDown, please. Moving on. So, the Metaphor, which is Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson, they defeat the Unholy Union. They are the new number one contenders. The Unholy Union is Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Really good match here. Very good match. All four ladies gave it their all. And man, I am so happy and proud of Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson. These two women are primed and ready for the main roster. They are ready for the main roster. They've been in NXT, I would say, about 3 to 4 years. So I would say they either came to NXT at the tail end of 2020 or 2021. I can't remember which, but I'm going to go with them coming in 2021. Right? I think they came in right before NXT 2.0 started up. So I would say probably like maybe the spring of 2021 or something like that. I don't fucking know. But this match was good, and I'm glad they got the win. So, good stuff there. They won via the cutter set out facebuster combo. Nice. Love it. Good shit. Good shit. Moving on. So, Ren Sinclair, she wants a rematch for the Heritage Cup Championship because she feels like Lexis King intentionally kicked Charlie Dempsey in the nuts last week. And then Ava says that Charlie Dempsey does deserve a rematch. So why is Ava just all of a sudden giving in the demand to everyone? She's just giving in to their demands. It's like She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing as a GM, and that's not good. She just caves into what the guys and girls want. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. Moving on. So, this leads us into a parking lot brawl involving Ridge Holland and Tony D. They did that all throughout the night, basically. Moving on. So, the next match was Cora Jade defeating Kalani Jordan. And Masha Slamovich from TNA, who is the TNA Knockout Champion, she was actually in the crowd. And this was great. I love this. Masha is excellent. Now, I know she re-signed with TNA, but that doesn't really mean much of anything. I would probably suggest that Masha will probably stay with TNA for the remainder of this year, and then probably sometime next year, probably try to come over to NXT, just like Jordynne Grace is fixing to do. They did mention that she's going to be wrestling at Genesis this Sunday, taking on Rosemary. So I do like that. I'm interested in seeing what they're planning when it comes to all this. So like I said, Cora Jade, she won the match. And I'm surprised she didn't get into the face of Masha Slamovich. Maybe she shows up at Genesis. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm down for this. This is really good stuff here. Very good shit. Masha Slamovich kicks fucking ass. If you guys have not watched any of her stuff, please go and watch her stuff. If you didn't watch Bound for Glory, go back and watch Bound for Glory. Jordynne Grace versus Masha Slamovich. Match was good. And their second match they had was good as well. So, yeah. Moving on. So, Eddie Thorpe, he brags about Oba Femi constantly falling for his baits. He's happy that Ava gave him an NXT title match for next week. And almost makes up for her calling him a liar. Eddie's ready to dethrone the ruler next week and become the new NXT champion. All right, that's fine, but it's not going to happen. Then we had some Josh Briggs brawling along with OTM and Anamora. So they all brawled. Who gives a shit? This is a waste of fucking time. Main event of the evening, wrestling-wise, Fraxium, they defeat OTM. They retain the NXT Tag Team Championships. Match was good. You know, the crowd was super into it. The finish came when Fraxium hit the golden ratio. And Fraxium also hit an avalanche Spanish fly on one of the bigger guys of OTM. I think his name is Lucian Price or whatever. It don't matter, but that's fine. And then DIY, they were in the balcony watching this. They were in the crowd watching it. So good shit there, I guess. Moving right along. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention there was a table spot. Forgot. So Nathan Frazier, he hit a frog splash to the announce table. So that was cool. And then closing segment of the evening, Roxanne Perez came out. She talked about how all she ever wanted to do was make women's wrestling special. She said NXT has the best women's division on the entire planet. He says that, She says that we've attracted the best women from all around the world. And she put over the NXT women's division. She said it's the best division in wrestling today, which I do agree with. She says she stands without her title because she lost to Julia, who was the better woman last week. So she congratulates Julia. And she basically played the crowd by saying that Julia's not going to be able to take the division to higher heights like she was when she was champion. She said that wrestling is the focus. She says NXT has the best wrestling, women's wrestling to date. So she said, you can go ahead and kiss all that goodbye. She says, without her, the division is going to be lost. So she then mentions the 4 horsewomen. She says, because in the past, no, she says, I know how you guys love to live in nostalgia, but trust me, it's not going to be the same because in the past, you needed the 4 horsewomen, but this generation only needed one, and that's her. So Bayley comes out. She says, Ding Dong, Roxanne. She says, Happy Tuesday. She says she's glad to be back in NXT. She saw her match with Julia and how things turned out at New Year's Evil. Roxanne says she doesn't need her advice, that being Bayley. Bayley talked about how she met her when she was 13, 14 in Austin, Texas. She says she loves NXT. She says that NXT is going to be fine. The division is going to be fine because we got Kalani, Jada Parker, and even Cora Jade. They're all going to be fine without you. She said that Roxanne's title run was the best she ever... my bad. She said her title run was amazing. It was one of the best we've ever had. Talking about Roxanne Perez. So then Roxanne's like, look, you're just like Natty and CM Punk. She says, you only care about yourself. She said that she knows Bayley set records, but she broke all of Bayley's records. And then she says that Bayley was her role model, but now she can be hers. And then Bayley says that she's going to beat Tiffany Stratton on Friday, and she's going to go on to WrestleMania. And Roxanne Perez smacks Bayley, and the two of them have a brawl, and that was it. So this is fine. I do like this. Really good shit here. I'm interested in seeing what they're going to do with Roxanne Perez and Bayley going forward. I like this. I really do. I think this is where Bayley needs to be and stay in NXT. She's been on the main roster. She's been on Raw. She's been on SmackDown. Send her back to NXT. Seriously. So this interests me because maybe Roxanne Perez shows up on Friday to cost Bayley her title, which is what she might do. That makes perfect sense. And I think one of the big matches that they could do for Stand and Deliver would be Bayley versus Roxanne Perez. And that would be really cool. So really good shit there. So overall, this week NXT was good. I like the Oba Femi stuff. That was great. Trick Williams was not on this show, but it is what it is. He'll show up next week more than likely. I'm pretty sure he'll get involved in the Oba Femi Eddie Thorpe match. The Roxanne Perez Bayley stuff was pretty cool. Fraxium, pretty cool stuff there. OTM, just get rid of them. Seriously, fuck OTM. Just get rid of them. Well, no, don't get rid of them. Just make them henchmen for Jada Parker. Make them her heavies. That's what they need to do with OTM. The matches on the show were solid too. So yeah. But what do you guys think of NXT? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.